Alright, what's up YouTube? We're Cabronium and we're doing a top 10 DLC prediction or wish list for what we think should be an Injustice with a few honorable mentions. So coming at number 10, we put Power Girl, simply because she has been wanted by other like we've seen her around like blogs, and people seem to, like the idea of having Power Girl. And they did add Batgirl, so she's kind of like Superman's sidekick girl type thing. That could be translated like, I don't know, like the way they used it with Batgirl, if that makes any sense. What do you think about that, Alex?
Well, Power Girl has virtually the same powers as Superman, so her gameplay would be similar in content. She has super strength and speed and everything Superman has, so she could be a valuable contribution to the game.
Yeah, I mean, even though they do have the same powers, I mean, the whole like Shazam and Black Adam essentially have the same powers, but they play very differently. So I don't know, it could easily be something that's translatable. Like they could change it up, and I believe in NetherRealm they could probably do something pretty cool and make the character fun to play as. So number 9 we have Killer Croc, the Batman villain. I think you really wanted this one out there, Ryan. What can you talk to about Killer Croc?
Um, I want to Killer Croc because I think he would be a good big character and a good contribution to the game. Like Quinn said, he's from Batman. There are a lot of Batman characters, but if you're playing to have fun, it doesn't really matter what comic they're from. I think Killer Croc would just be cool. I mean, you can see him in the transition on what's the map, the Asylum,
Yeah, both
Joker's Asylum?
asylums. I think
and
both of them.
Arkham Asylum.
Oh,
They're the
okay.
same thing. It's in the pig room with the faces. If you go
Oh,
on the
yeah.
right side, that's where you get to see him. You get to see Penguin and the Riddler in there too.
Oh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, like I don't know, would his gameplay, I couldn't see him having any like projectile things, but
He, I could see him having a stomp like what's his name, Solomon Grundy.
Yeah, I
yeah.
think he'd be very
It
similar
wouldn't
to.
be like as powerful as his, where he can just lock you up with the bones, but
And in regards to powers, Killer Croc has superhuman speed, agility, and reflexes and strength, so he'd clearly be one of the larger characters with characters like Solomon Grundy, Doomsday, and he would be clearly have powerful moves. And like you said, the projectiles wouldn't be the priority, but he would still be a good character.
Yeah, I think he would just please a lot of the Batman fans. Even though I don't know, he seems the most realistic. Like I don't know if I can't see the reasoning behind adding the Riddler or Penguin. That just seems a little ridiculous. But
Yeah,
Killer Croc seems like kind of the
oh, you
big
can
one.
see you can see Two Face in there too.
Oh,
I'd
and the
say
transition.
Yeah,
yeah, I'd say Killer Croc is the most needed remaining Batman villain because also he is a big character, and I mean, if they were to put in another Batman villain, I think um, Killer Croc would contribute the
Oh
most.
yeah, it would most definitely would be Killer Croc, simply just because like I mean, he hasn't really been like given any love. Like I feel like he's kind of been out of the picture for a while. Um, I mean, and I mean, he's an awesome character, so definitely it'd be cool. Moving on to number 8, we have Firestorm. This is Firestorm is the counterpart to Killer Frost, kind of her enemy. I think Alex, you really, really wanted Firestorm on this list. Um,
Um, yeah, Firestorm. also known as Ronald Raymond, has powers where he has things like energy projection, so your standard like fire blast moves, which would be good for projectiles. And I think he could have a really cool and interesting super move with that. And he has things, like enhanced strength and durability and all that standard stuff, along with his molecular abilities.
Yeah, so you could definitely see. I don't know. I feel like he could play something like if he were to be his kind of moveset would kind of be similar to Green Lanterns. Maybe nothing like Green Lanterns like Down Back X, but like Green Lantern's O was Rocket. I feel like he would have something, or more like Sinestro even. I feel like kind of a mixture of the two. You would have something like Firestorm, where you have a lot of fire projection, but yet you could still get in there and or like do some rundown stuff and being able to do cool combos, adding with some fire. I definitely think that would be awesome. I mean, like the way I have it in my head, like it just like looks really really cool. Like the way he would look in the game, and like all of his moves would just look really smooth and really awesome. So yeah. Moving on to number 7, we have Black Canary. Why don't you start that off, Alex?
All right. Black Canary would be um, Black Canary would primarily be a sort of combat, similar, I think, to Batgirl, but also using her sonic screech abilities. I think that would be a good projectile. Also, how as Cyborg uses his cannon, which sends out an impulse to shoot back his opponent, I think
Yeah.
Black Canary could use that as well as combat techniques.
Oh yeah, like I really wanted Black Canary instead of Batgirl, but when they announced Batgirl, I mean, it was kind of a letdown. I was hoping just to have more variety and
I'd say Black Canary is probably the best remaining female character.
yeah, definitely. And she's good looking too. But I mean,
Exactly.
I feel like she would, if she was in the game, she'd be kind of better than Batgirl with like rundown attacks, simply just because she's known for her just like great martial art, like her great martial arts, and being able to do like seeing her being able to do a bunch of air combos and having these long stretched out combos for good damage. I mean, I could probably see a mixture between like Batgirl and Catwoman,
Yeah.
something like that. So yeah, it's cool. And along with that, Sonic Shriek to push back. That's cool. Next we have Captain Boomerang, Flash
Oh
villain.
yeah.
We all love Captain Boomerang. But yeah, this is Alex's probably his favorite character. So let everyone know about
Yeah.
Captain Boomerang.
I'd say Captain Boomerang is my most desired character in this game. Uh, I think the game should have a Flash villain. I expected the game to have Captain Cold originally, but they went with Killer Frost, which is understandable, of course. But Captain Boomerang has his arsenal of boomerangs, very similar to Green Arrow, but with boomerangs. And in the newer comics, uh, Captain Boomerang can create boomerangs out of energy with a power, and which would be obviously very cool. But he's pretty much a Green Lantern style player.
Green Arrow, yeah.
Or,
I mean,
sorry, Green
yeah.
Arrow.
But yeah, that all seems really cool. I mean, I love it how like I don't know, kind of the new 52 stuff has really kind of been changing like kind of older characters, because you think like someone named Captain Boomerang would be a totally lame, but yeah, he actually is a pretty cool character.
He might have some kind of spam moves.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
could
mean,
see,
He's definitely gonna be a spam character.
but
yeah. I mean, but if you're talking about spam, like he honestly, I doubt could be any worse than like Deathstroke was online, and I mean, it's hard for me to see because like you would think like how Wonder Woman has her like her throw where it goes there and comes back, and it would be something like that except really really
More
enhanced.
long range.
Yeah, and being able like how Batgirl has that meter burn throw, where like it's kind of a anti-Killer Frost slide.
Yeah,
I
the
could see,
batarangs that you throw on the ground. The
yeah,
three of them.
I could see like Captain Boomerang throwing like mini boomerangs at one time, blocking, or like maybe in a meter burn, or having like his trait like explosive boomerangs, or like flaming boomerangs, or like electric boomerangs, or something like that, just for like extra damage and like being able to rush in and combo and knock you back with extra. I mean, it's good. There's many possibilities. Like if they were to do it, I think yeah, like we everyone kind of assumed oh he would just be a spam character, but I think they could like change that up. So
Yeah, he might be kind of like Green Arrow, but
which is not bad. I mean, Green Arrow is a really cool character, but it's kind of a little one dimensional, but
yeah.
still. Number 5 we have Atrocitus, the leader of the Red Lantern Corps. Clearly, Atrocitus' size would have him as a bigger character, like Doomsday, Lex Luthor, Bane. I mean, but Atrocitus is just kind of just a really really awesome character. Just this huge, big, red, angry monster that just like wants to destroy things, and it just kind of I mean, of course with the red power ring, but if you think, I mean, he can't be that fast, of course, but like if you think like just a huge character with like a power ring, this is really really cool, and it has just like a bunch of possibilities.
The way he looks kind of reminds me of the elites from Halo.
Yeah, he does. I mean,
I think that's
what
kind of
would
what
you
they'd make him look like in the game, but he'd be black and red.
black and red, yeah. What do you all think, like moveset wise, they could do with Atrocitus?
I think they would focus less on. Honestly, I think they would focus less on the ring, considering he's a big character. I mean, they'd still use it, but not as much as.
I don't think he'd have the ring grab like Green Arrow does.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
Green
would.
Lantern.
I think he'd have more combat and grapple style moves, but he'd certainly use the ring, just not as much.
Yeah, but like you'd think he almost have like a play like Lex Luthor, because kind of a big
Yeah.
character with projectiles. But I can almost see him having like kind of like air attacks, more air attacks based.
Like Doomsday.
I could see
Yeah.
that.
Or like just being able to go in the air and shoot like a big stream of red energy, or making a construct out of that red energy and shooting it. I don't know, but there's a lot of possibilities with Atrocitus, and just like I mean, not as many people know who he is, simply because he's relatively new. But then again, just like Captain Boomerang, even though Captain Boomerang is a lot older, kind of showing these characters in the game would help the DC universe in general, just by showing like the villains from less popular comics. And Atrocitus, to me, I think could be a huge hit. I mean, he would be totally cool. I guess going on to number 4, we have Atom Smasher. So, Atom Smasher is kind of a big character, of course. Like all the really big characters are villains. So we thought, well, Atom Smasher could be a big character and be a good guy. We don't have that yet, and his abilities are being able to increase in size up to either 40 feet or 60 feet. I can't remember which.
Isn't he 7.5 feet tall to begin with?
Yeah, and he's 7 foot. He's like 7.5 feet tall to start with. So he's just this massive, like, life form, and he's really cool. I mean, He's not really a big walker, it seems like, but he just definitely seems like he could kick some ass. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, he has, of course, his increase in size along with his superhuman strength because as he grows, his strength increases. So I think he could have some really cool moves, like maybe his grapple. He could grab onto someone, then grow, and then throw them down or something. But I think they could relate his
Yeah.
growth into the gameplay really well.
I think he'd have a pretty cool power
Trait.
finisher.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That'd be awesome.
You almost think he would have a finisher like Ares, where he just grows and just
Yeah.
Yeah,
smashes
I
you.
can see that.
I could see him having like his trait being really interesting. Him probably being able to grow more in size, like for a period of time, with like probably an extra bit of shield from other attacks, so he just kind of overpowers you for a small
Sort of
amount
like
time.
Doomsday's thing.
Yeah, I think that'd be really really cool with I'm sorry, Atom Smasher. Moving on to number 3, we have Aztec.
Aztec is
Az-
awesome.
Aztec is awesome.
Not
He's
many
kind
people
of
know. Not many people
yeah,
know about Aztec.
this is true. He's kind of been left in the dust a little bit, but he's kind of like the DC Iron Man, except he has like an enchanted armored suit. What is it, from the fourth dimension?
Uh, I have here that Aztec's battle suit and helmet are masterpieces of occult engineering.
Oh,
So,
which is just kind of an enchanted
yeah,
armor suit.
yeah.
I mean, he has lasers. He could be like a buffed cyborg,
Yeah.
I guess.
He has enhanced speed, strength. His suit can turn invisible, flight, and energy resistance. So he has protection and he can project energy similar to Iron Man, I guess.
Yeah, so I can see him being kind of a mix between like cyborg and Hawkgirl, where like if he could fly his trait, like he flies up and he kind of
Yeah.
has like a Raven ability where he can block projectiles, while like the same time like Cyborg shoots his own series of energy blasts. I think it'd be really really cool, and just and just the way Aztec looks, like he looks really really cool. He just looks really awesome.
Yeah, he'd
And
probably
again,
have a pretty cool
yeah, go-
special. Sorry.
Oh,
They
you're
could,
fine.
they could do a lot with his special.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And he's just kind of another character that's kind of been left behind in the DC universe that doesn't get as much love as he probably should have. But this can be like a big break for, like, I don't know, being introduced in this game, because it's a very very popular game. Kind of brings him back into the light, or just kind of have a retrospective type thing where, like, he's not that old, but just to bring him back, I think would be really really cool. Anything else?
That's got
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Cool. All right, moving on to number 2, we have Dr.Fate. Dr.Fate
Dr.
is
Fate.
cool. He's a bad man.
Yeah, Dr. Fate's one of those magical characters that would have good amount of projectiles. I wouldn't say he's one of those that would stay a distance and just shoot. But I think I think he would be kind of similar to Green Lantern in his gameplay.
Yeah,
You think he'd have anything like Ravens?
I think he'd be like a buffed Raven. Like I mean, he's not like a smaller character like Raven, but he's kind of like a Superman, Batman, Green Lantern sized character that has like. I almost think he would be something like Black Adam, but he wouldn't be as.
Yeah, I could see.
His projectiles would be more like more more accurate and do a little bit more. And like I think he has the power to teleport because he's kind of like the magic Superman per se. and he can just, all these magical powers with like a like indestructible helmet. He could probably like fly, kind of have like a raven thing and like teleport right to you to do some combos. I feel like he would have like combos with like that would be kind of like mid-range where his projectile things could hit you. Kind of like Black Adam's has like that rise up where those thunderbolts kind of shock you and you bounce off the ground, where you're able to combo off that and just kind of juggle them. But at the same time, like he'd be able to do something like that, being able to, while finishing that juggle, being able to push them away while he would be safe from harm. So, it might sound a little lame, but I think NetherRealm could do something really, really cool with it.
Moving on.
Number 1, Martian Manhunter.
He can be seen on the watchtower level sitting there taunting you.
Yeah.
On the right side.
Yeah, I'd say Martian Manhunter is probably the most desired character for a DLC.
Oh yeah, if you don't want Martian Manhunter, there's something wrong with you because, I mean, come on, all those Justice League that we all used to watch, and Injustice comes out, and he's not there, but he's on the watchtower in plain sight, just taunting you.
It wouldn't be hard for them to put him in there. All you got to do is give him some moves.
Yeah, they all obviously have like the body for it. They just need to do a move set. And they have, I guess they have those two for like Killer Croc and Two-Face and the Riddler. And I think they would have one for Atom Smasher too, because he's in the Hall of Justice, right?
They would probably also have one for Scarecrow because he's in some of the Star Labs.
Yeah, and he's in the transition between.
It's in Arkham Asylum on the right side with the flowers.
Yeah. I thought it was on the other side without the flowers.
It's on the level with on the screen level with the flowers before you go into the pig room.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, Martian Manhunter, like, there's so many things you can do with him. Like, the fact that he has the power to shapeshift gives him a lot of, gives you, NetherRealm a lot of options to do with him. Like, would you guys want to be able to transform into your opposing enemy?
Yeah, I think
it would be cool if he could if his special was to pick up like their special.
That would be pretty cool.
I think he should have his own thing though.
Yeah. I feel like with his combos, like if he was able to combo with you, a lot of time watching the show, he was able to change his form, but like even the simple change of his arm, like changing his arm into like a tentacle and like grabbing you like from the air and smashing you on the ground would be cool, or having like his arm turning to like Bane's arm and punching you, or having something like or changing into small aspects of every character or something like that.
Yeah, but also, Martian Manhunter, besides his shapeshifting, he has abilities like invisibility, superhuman durability, strength.
Can he go transparent, like where he's kind of
like how Ares does?
Ares, yeah.
And
but can he like make himself so where he's like invulnerable to attacks?
Well, I know he has durability powers, but I'm not sure.
I thought he could like, where he kind of like, it's kind of like a projectile cancel, because I remember seeing an episode from, or just watching the Justice League in general, and he was able to like, make his body completely clear, kind of like a ghost thing, and people were just like shooting at him, and the bullets were just going straight through and not being able to touch him, and he would just like reanimate himself and beat him up. I mean, if he had something like that, it'd be cool. But I feel like it'd be really hard to put that in and make him not broken.
Also, one last thing. In the end of the Scorpion DLC trailer, it does have a little teaser for him. So
Oh,
That could
yeah,
be
he
right.
does.
He flies right up
does.
to the camera.
For no reason. So,
Just be like, I'm here, but you can't play as me yet.
not yet.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, there's a lot of possibilities in Martian
Quinn,
Manhunter.
what were you saying about the Twitter thing about him?
Oh yeah, I on Ed Boon's Twitter, someone had asked. Let me check it out really quick. Can't remember the exact conversation, but there was something. Um, someone had tweeted at Ed Boon and said, "I'm not going to point out the elephant in the room. Was was that a hint to Martian Manhunter as a DLC?" And Ed Boon replies, "Stay tuned." So,
Well, that's
wink,
a
wink.
hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, if I've ever seen one.
Yes. So I think, it could be either completely confirmed or we're being completely trolled. So anyway, we have a couple of characters who we wanted to put in the list, but we felt that they didn't really have a solid place, or they didn't have enough fans to back up them. So we made an honorable mention list. Of course, on that honorable mention list, we have Swamp Thing, who I really wanted to be in the game, but is unfortunately, kind of slapped to the side because what could he do in the game? I've yet to figure that out. I'm sure they could figure out something, but realistically, I can't think of anything. Red Tornado. I don't know much about Red Tornado, except that he's a robot, and I just didn't want a robot in it.
Yeah, Red Tornado, I think he could be a good option, but I mean, I think there were better options. I mean, he was in the Justice League cartoon, and he's in the Justice League, so I mean, that gives him a sort of edge, but he has tornado powers, and wind manipulation, so I'm not really sure how they would bring that in, so I think those other top 10 just finished ahead of him.
And same with Blue Beetle. He's really cool. A really, really unique character. We just didn't find any solid placement for him. Even though Blue Beetle does have a lot of people pushing for him, wanting him to be in the game. And then Static Shock, we just thought hey, he had his own show. People know who he is. It's kind of a nostalgic factor, bringing back something you used to watch when you were younger. Him riding around on his little disc, shocking you, I guess. But then again, I guess we do have enough lightning characters, so.
Yeah, I think he has some potential, but not as realistic as the other options.
Yeah. But maybe in the future, you never know. And Beast Boy, we just thought realistically, no, it doesn't make sense. We already have Titans. They've done a Teen Titans skin pack. Beast Boy would only be there for a nostalgic factor. He doesn't play that big of a role in anything else. But thinking of combos he could do would be cool.
I think it would be pretty fun to play as him. To turn into a gorilla or something. Or be like Bane's Charge, he could be a rhino and just truck you.
Yeah, I've always thought he could change into a Tyrannosaurus Rex. He always did that in the show Teen Titans. Or changing into an eagle and evading an attack. He's almost like a character that has too many options.
Yeah.
And obviously we all want Aqualad. Why would you... Aqualad? Why would you not want Aqualad?
Aqualad is such a good option.